Discretion is advised.
If you feeling like a pimp, niggas gon' pimp.
Happy 4th of July, everyone! Awesome sauce! This is Awesome Sauce Radio. I am your mentally undeveloped party host, Blind Adam Wonders, the comic pimp. This is the podcast where we'll be kicking ass and taking names and pimping whores and gaining fame. Yeah. As we come and testify. Just remember, you don't need sight to have a vision. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it. I hope you're having a happy, safe 4th of July. Remember, if you're going to light up fireworks, be really careful. Do not blow your fingers off. All right? Also, if you're going to drink and drive, don't do it. If you drink and drive, you deserve to play hide the salami with Big Bubba in county. You got Uber, you got Lyft. You can hire a sexy, busty blonde to drive you around. There's lots of options, so just don't drink and drive. If you do, the Popo have a right to put you in the slammer, or you can play hide the salami. Testify. Also want to give 2 quick shout-outs to 2 sponsors. Terrificon is coming to our way at the Mohegan Sun, August 16th through the 18th. You can check them out. They have an amazing guest list. Charlie Cox will be there that Sunday. Got Jen Lee, Adam Hughes, Sergeant Slaughter, all sorts of great guests at the Mohegan Sun. I will be there one of the 3 days. I'm not sure yet. I just got my my press approval today. So thank you, Mitch, for hooking me up. Everyone, www.terrificon.com. Tell them about it, I sent you. Also, we got Exotica. The Exotica Expo is coming back to New Jersey, October 25th, 26th, and 27th. The world's sexiest, the world's kinkiest, the greatest convention on God's green earth. ExoticaExpo.com. You'll have porn stars, meet and greets, dodos, BJs, HJs, parties, seminars. Ladies getting in free on Fridays. Go check it out. I will be there all weekend long at the Pinedo the Movie booth, where I'll be signing autographs and all that good stuff. ExoticaExpo.com. Yeah. Testify. And now before we bring everyone in, we're gonna play an old school TV spot. Back when watching stuff on normal TV on 4th of July would mean something. So if the Nemesis can play the Twilight Zone marathon spot thing, that would be awesome.
The Nemesis didn't see the Twilight Zone marathon thing, so
Really?
yeah, the Nemesis, you have to go look for it. So
don't worry about it. All right, so we'll just start bringing people in. I'd like to thank Nemesis, for being the man of the chair, making the show look sexy, except for when I fuck up.
Nah, I make it all look sexy. So
That's true. But please go to Kickstarter and fund my comic for Phoenix Throne #1.
Yeah. Go check that out, and go check it out on. We're going to be launching our Kickstarter next week. So if Kickstarter is your preferred place to go, look for that. I will probably promote that next week if Adam lets me. So
we'll definitely be plugging that. Now we're going to bring in one of my partners in crime for Friday nights. Over on the Comic Crusaders and Mighty Mel D channels. He's one of the co-hosts of Drunken Chat. He's not the best. He's not the most awesome.
How you
He's
doing?
The greatest. Sir Christopher the Great. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. How you guys doing, man?
Can't complain. Can't complain.
Yeah,
just
I'm really fucking excited for everything coming up. So
Sweet.
So am I. I figured we'd start. You watched The Boys today, dude?
yes, that shit was great. I'm not gonna lie, dude. To have as many perverted jokes in a show, I fucking
I
love
was
it,
a
bro.
happy motherfucker.
Like normally, yeah, dude. Normally, when I see shit like that, and if it doesn't have that proper comedic twist on it, it's kind of a turnoff, right? But this shit is like right on point. I mean, it just goes with the show, the whole vibe of it. I mean, it is fucking dope.
Actually, as someone who has a foot in both the comic book world and the porn world, I was watching today's episode. Dave, are you caught up yet?
I am not caught up on Boys yet. So because, well, you know why. I told you before the show. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to hijack, but I've been watching a couple other things to catch up on that. Plus, I did a little retro movie action this morning because I was kind of chilling, not doing anything. I watched Young Guns again. So
nice.
But
without spoiling it, there are 2 scenes that could have been a porno movie on its own in this episode.
really,
Yeah.
who is involved in said movie? Can I ask, or is that going to spoil it?
Everything involves the tech, Tech Jack, the superhero that's their Batman ripoff
Right.
in the Tech Cave, and this scene comes out of the comics,
Yeah,
anyways. Go ahead, Chris.
Tech Knight.
Yeah, Tech Knight, and
No, I was just I was telling you his name, Tech Knight.
Yep.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a mixture between Iron Man and Batman.
Yeah.
and then it's the dominatrix chick, who is like the second in command, the third in command, technically. She's the one that Sister Sage replaced.
I'm surprised it took us this long to get to something like that, considering the Deep was at the beginning of the show. So
Yeah. And then there's another scene involving Firecracker and Homelander, and it made me laugh my ass off.
Nice.
But
that shit was wild.
Yeah, that was just insane. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone in the audience. Firecracker is becoming one of my favorite characters of the season.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I haven't caught up on that yet. So I've been catching up on that show, or another show. I've been catching up on Loki season 2, which my wife has been interested in watching. So we've been watching that, which has been pretty good because I hadn't caught up on that yet. And I want to get caught up on that before we go see Deadpool, the new Deadpool movie. And I'm going back and watching Fallout again because I got my wife hooked on it. She was like, originally she wasn't going to watch it. She's like, nah, that's that game you play all the time. I was like, yeah, but it's good. She's like, I don't want to watch that. So I got her into episode 1, and now she's hooked. She's like, I got to watch it. It gives something to herself. But she refuses to watch Game of Thrones to the House of the Dragon with me, which I have been watching. I don't know if you guys are Game of Thrones people, but House of the Dragon is friggin' fantastic. That's all I'm going to say. So.
Yeah, I'm interested in it, but dude, I never started the original.
The cool part about the new series is you don't need to have watched the original series to watch the new series. So the bad part is this is season 2, so you would have to watch season 1 to know what's going on in season 2. So, but one of the cool things. Well, I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to say the conversation we had last week where we were talking about diversity in the shows and everything. They did that a lot with House of the Dragon, and it works really well. There's a seafaring house called the Valerians, and they're all black, and they're all cool as fuck. So they're like renegades. Like their whole culture is about hunting down pirates and stuff, and using dragons and ships together. And they're fucking fantastic. They're absolutely cool as hell, man. So the Valerian House Valerian. So
You know, it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
hey, you know, and that's fine. You know, like we were saying, if that's not what you're into, but yeah, I'm a fantasy nerd. So color me fantasy nerd over here.
Yeah, that's fine. I just was never really all that big in like things like D&D and that sword and sorcery type stuff to begin with. So it's
Hey,
just not my genre.
can I tell you something funny from the show though, real quick? Tell you guys something funny.
Do it, man.
So this last episode, the British public was outraged because for the first time on British TV, one of the main characters turned around as they walked into a prostitute, a brothel, and there was a dude.
Hell yeah!
There was a dude full on getting a BJ with it, and then they showed a fully erect penis, and people were like outraged. And so somebody was saying that, and I typed in on social media. I was like, I'm outraged you didn't put a friggin' disclaimer on that, because if you were watching that 3D TV, you could have put your eye out on that shit. So I was like, but yeah, I guess it was a big deal over in the UK because man, they were showing all the peens on this last episode. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm securing my sexuality, but that's a lot of penis. So
And that's how I felt about what was it, episode 2 for The Boys? Maybe it was 3 with the dude that can multiply. I mean, like I haven't seen that much dick in my life. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, it's fucking ridiculous, bro. I mean, it was like a episode where it's like literally maybe every 10 minutes there was at least his dick out there, and the whole little fucking ass eating train he had going on was just fucking wild.
Like I said, The Boys is that one show where it's just like every now and then I'll see someone make a porn parody of it. I'm like, did it really need it? You know, I have one friend. Her name is Ray Ray. She's done a couple Starlight videos.
Dude, to one up that shit, what are you gonna have?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like
you're gonna have what, like 30 people? You're gonna have 30 of the same guy eat his ass?
Yeah.
My big surprise, my TV surprise this week was on The Acolyte when I realized that the dude who plays the guy with the helmet on, I forget his name, but that guy was actually one of the main actors in The Good Place. So I was like, oh shit, that's that dude, man. So I was like, now I know why I've been like trying to figure out who that guy is the whole time. So it was kind of weird.
Okay.
I never saw that show, The Good Place. It was a pretty good show. So.
I want to get your guys' opinion on a news article I was reading.
Sure.
Throw
that up there.
Yep. Because in today's day in the world we live in, I don't know why this is so important. In Florida, the fucked up state of Florida, the backwards, everyone married to their cousin, weird crime, gator capital of the motherfucking United States. They got to give two shits whether a girl is 18, 19, or 20 to work in a strip club or 21. Because they have this new law where if you're 18, 19, and 20, you can't make money showing your titties and shaking your ass for the American cash. So now they banned that, and you got to be 21, and there's a couple people suing. But, you guys think that, can someone explain to me why in America, when the economy is shit and inflation and you're giving blowjobs just to afford a thing of eggs and bread, that we have to worry about legal adults, what's too young? So as dads, how do you guys feel about this, about what's too young to do what you want to do in life, 18 or 21?
You want to take this one first, Chris?
Yeah, I think that it's bullshit. I mean, once you're an established adult, when you're 18 years old, you should be free to do whatever the fuck you want to do. I did notice that back in Illinois, I want to say 6 to 8 months ago, they moved the age of smoking and shit like that, right, to 21. So before it was 18, and then I think if I'm not mistaken, they were about to move the drinking age too. So it's pretty fucking stupid, especially with everything going on right now. You hey, if that's what she wants to do, and she's 18, to me, she's fucking grown. If that's what she's gonna do, that's what she does. So
Yeah,
I just think that they're intruding on some shit that they really should leave alone.
yeah, I gotta agree, man. As far as I'm concerned, if I'm old enough that I have to pay taxes, I could get drafted into the military to go die. If
I can vote for the president.
I could get tried as an adult, for shit, then I'm old enough to do all that shit. And that includes drinking. Drinking, anything that an adult should do, I think you should be able to do at 18. And if you're not going to let them do it at 18, then we need to seriously have a conversation about the whole situation. The only reason I could see them doing this is I used to work in a nightclub back in the day, and I was under 21. And so I basically had to have like a brand on me that said I couldn't touch alcohol or sell alcohol or be around, have alcohol, because then the club could get in trouble for that. But
Yeah.
I think even that's stupid. I think that if you're an adult, you should be able to smoke, you should be able to drink, you should be able to do everything else an adult does, or they need to raise the adult age to 21. It's like shit or get off the pot, make up your mind. So
Yeah, because they're using the 21 drinking age thing as their way to get this shit done.
yeah, I mean,
But you think, look at all the other things. By the time you're 18, look at all the things you can legally do.
well, I think this is off the subject, but I think it's the same thing with guns. It's like if I'm old enough to be drafted in the military or serve in the military and wield an actual weapon of war and kill people with it, but then you're telling me I can't own one privately. So it's like I got to pay my taxes, I got to do all this other stuff, but I can't have the right that everybody else does. So either I'm an adult or I'm not an adult. It's one way or the other. I'm not saying that 18-year-olds should have guns. I'm just saying you need to decide if 18-year-olds are adults, they get to do what everybody else does. So.
Yeah, like I said, I just feel like right now in
Definitely.
America that they've really been getting crazy with fucking around with the First Amendment lately. Whether it's age verification stuff, whether it's book bannings, it just feels weird lately sometimes.
Well, not only that, man. It's a slippery slope because first it's age, but it's like in this country we believe, like other countries, here's my 4th of July rant. This country we believe you have rights when you become an adult. All of those rights are yours. So it's like either you have those rights or you don't. And if you start taking those rights away from people, where does it stop? We haven't always done the best job at giving rights to people in this country. I know that's a big surprise to everybody, and we've made progress, but when does it stop if we start taking shit away? It's like, oh, you can't vote because you didn't get a certain education, or you can't do this shit, or you can't do that shit because of this. It's like, oh, we have the best of intentions. It's like, fuck that. If you're an adult, you're an adult. You have all the rights everybody else does. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Because if you can get
Hey,
charged with a felony, you should be able to do adult shit. If they're enlisting you for the military, you should be able to fucking smoke, drink. I mean, and even on another subject close to it, I feel like, all right, if we have a person that's a convicted felon getting ready to be our president, because most people believe that's what's getting ready to happen, I think it's time that they need to look at these felonies and these laws a little bit different now, because if you're basically banning so many people from voting, you're banning people from owning guns, you're doing all type of this shit, and it's crazy as fuck because you got the spokesman for the country a fucking felon. So what
Well,
sense does that make, you know?
Hey,
And
I'll
then
go
not
one.
only that, he got granted immunity by the Supreme Court this week.
Hey, I'll go one further for you, than you on that, Chris, and then I'm gonna
All right.
stop. I don't
Yeah,
want to start.
then after this, we're going to go to something fun, but let's put a bullet in this horse.
All right. We're about to go. We're about to turn this into a news and event show. So.
Well, I would be proud. Love you,
Yeah.
Almega.
Go for it, Adam. What's next? What do you got?
Let's see. Let's see. What else did I send you? I think I sent you two.
You sent me two
images
comic
of,
covers.
Marvel Legends stickers.
Yeah, you sent me two comic covers. You sent me Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and you sent me Kite Man. So
Let's what comic covers did I send you?
an Avengers one and an X-Men one. So
Let's go with the Chris. I know you're a big collector of Marvel Legends. Dave, are you into the plastic crack at all?
am I what?
Into the plastic crack we call Marvel Legends action figures.
I would like to be, but I don't have enough money to be into that shit right now. So.
Fair enough.
If I did, I would.
So, Chris, I wanted to point out two hidden gems. And technically, these are pre-Marvel Legends. I think this came out maybe a year right before Wave 1 from Toy Biz, but this is the limited edition of 5-figure box sets of the Avengers and the X-Men.
Right, let me throw up the Avengers right now.
Yeah, I like the Avengers a little more than I like the X-Men one.
Cool. Man, I didn't see. I'm so out of this shit. I didn't even know this was toy. I thought this was a comic cover. I was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, no. They actually made the box art to look like the comic cover.
See, that's how much of my head up my ass I've got. So there it is.
Yeah, because they made a couple of box sets like this that I know. I honestly I don't even remember seeing this one. I've seen the I think it's like Monsters, like a Marvel Legends Monsters, like 4-pack.
There's the Monsters Unleashed.
And then I remember the Children's Crusade one. I think
Yeah,
it was Children's Crusade.
that's the one that has the Young Avengers #1 reprint in it.
Yeah, so shit. In this one, did they have all the classic like looks, or did they have an updated look on it?
The Iron Man is the original Jack Kirby look from the Mach 1 armor.
They've got that original Hulk look in there too.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, because one thing is, dude, they just charged me for Wolverine today, and you know, I'm hoping that people like stop. I know like shit's rough right now, and I know like, you know, we had two things going against us in just collecting figures right now. One was that package changing, you know, when they switched from having the glass windows on it and switched to the cardboard, then they were dealing with like a lot of theft. And then when they took the price up, because remember, I mean, maybe like 4 years ago, we were paying $20 a figure, and now it's translating to like more like $27. So that's your inflation for you. But it's just crazy because with both of those two things working, you know, in the whole figure industry right now, it's crazy that they're cutting back so hard that a lot of shit is selling out so fast, way faster than it was before. You know, before people could take the luxury of waiting until like Amazon or, you know, wherever you get your
Or Walmart
figures from does a sale, right? And then people usually come and clean house. Yeah, now it's like I think they're about to cut that shit short, you know, because they're just dropping so much dope shit on us right now. So I'm just curious to see where they're going to go with this. Like, are they going to cut down in production to where they're not producing as many, or what?
What do you guys do with your stuff though? Do you display it, or you just like store it. So
I do both.
okay.
For me, it depends on the piece. You know, I have a couple pieces I display proudly. I have a couple things I have stored. I have a couple things I buy and sell when it comes to action figures.
I would love to display the stuff that I do have, but I'm pretty sure that if I start displaying stuff all over the house, it'll take over the house. It's like,
That can happen fast. From the X-Men thing, because I actually like this set.
all right, hold on.
This is one of my favorite sets.
This one looks awesome, so I will say that I want.
And this one was based on the cover of X-Men 1.
I would want this one.
Yep.
Boom. There we go. That's sweet.
This came out in 1998.
They even got the original.
How much
Hank
is that thing
McCoy there.
going for now? Like what? It's
So it's like $50. They go between like $40 and $70.
That's not that bad
Yeah. Same thing with the Avengers.
Yeah, it's not bad.
for 5 figures.
Yep.
What? How?
Yeah, 'cause
how
I-
big?
I-
are the figures?
The box is the size of a magazine. Yeah. There's also
So are they 3 and 7.5? 3.75s?
Yep.
That's cool. Shit. My birthday's next week. I may treat myself.
I know it's just like crack. Once you take that first hit,
That because that X-Men one
Yeah.
was sweet, and I
yeah,
Angel and the original Hank McCoy and Wonder Girl and Cyclops and friggin' Iceman there.
yep.
That's awesome.
Hey, didn't they do an updated one though? Like it's still old now, but is that the one where it has everybody in their first appearance suits?
I believe
'Cause I
this is
could
the
have
one.
swore that they did it with an updated body, like updated.
I
You
don't-
know,
But this is the
well,
only
yeah,
one.
I think
Go ahead,
I
Chris.
think this is for the 3.75 one, and then the other one is for 6-inch. So that's the difference.
Hey, nerdy question here. I'm looking at this box and I'm trying to remember, when did Hank McCoy transform into Beast in the X-Men comics?
It was an Amazing Adventures number 11, so it was like in the early 70s.
Okay.
Like right before he joins the Avengers.
Okay. Cool.
That's when he actually has that the gray fur at first, and then it eventually becomes blue.
Nice. Look at you with the knowledge. Thought I'd stump you.
So I occasionally know more than titties and ass. You know,
You
Just
learn
like-
something every day, man. You learn something every day. So
Yes. So Dave, we were talking in pre-show about the Twilight Zone. Because one of my 4th of July traditions is watching the Twilight Zone marathon.
right, which is always fun.
Even though today I cheated and just did like a couple episodes of Paramount Plus. You have a favorite episode of the Twilight Zone?
Oh man.
Like, if you had to pick one episode to show someone under the age of 25 what the Twilight Zone is,
And always for me,
Amazon stop.
that's such a hard question though, because it's really I have favorites based on what kind of Twilight Zone episode I want to watch. I'll say this: my favorite horror episode of Twilight Zone is cliche, but it's Living Doll with Telly Savalas. That's my favorite horror episode of Twilight Zone. My favorite science fiction one is the one Quiet Place, where the little robots are attacking that lady, and it turns out they're astronauts from Earth. But my favorite Twilight Zone episode of all, because I think it has horror elements and everything, plus it's got like social commentary, is The Obsolete Man with Burgess Meredith. So I love
That actually, I love that episode, and there's also the Twilight Zone radio dramas,
Yep.
which they based them off the unedited scripts.
I
And
also
with
said,
Absolute Man, I like it because it gives you that opening.
and if you play Fallout 4, there's a great mod out there where someone took all of those Twilight Zone radio dramas and put them onto a radio show that you can listen to while you're playing Fallout 4. So
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. so
Yeah, like I said, my favorite episode is Game of Pool.
okay, yeah, with Jack Klugman. So
Yep.
and what is it? Not Orson Welles. Jonathan Winters. So yeah.
Yeah, that's such a great. But actually, that's not Jack Klugman's. But his actually, In Praise of Pip, I think is his better episode.
Yep, it's a good one. There's so many good ones, man. We don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite shows.
Chris, you watch the Twilight Zone?
I caught some of it. That's more like Britney's thing right now, dude. I think it's kind of like more or less before my time. I think that was more of the shit that my dad used to show me when I was kind of like growing up. But I mean, I watched some of it, but I didn't watch enough of it to be like, yeah, this is my favorite episode or anything like that. Nah.
Are you into horror or like 70s shows and stuff like that at all?
I'm into horror. Classic shit, not so much. Like certain shit, yeah. But Brittany, that's all her genre. She's the horror queen. Like she's the one that studies fucking serial killers and all that good shit. So I'm more or less like.
Excuse me, Chris. Is Brittany one of those girls who you can watch Discovery ID like 24/7 if you give her the chance? You know
she
murder
will, but
shows.
she if anything, she'll have her go-to is more or less like true life shit. So like real murders, like shit that actually happened. She's deep into that shit. Like we'll watch that shit together all day. We got one channel we watch called That Chapter on YouTube, where the guy covers like all type of murders and shit like that. So yeah, we're into that type of shit.
I'm a horror writer. I write books as well. I watch some of that true crime shit to get ideas, man, because I'm like, this shit is too crazy. I could make some of this shit up. So
yeah, dude, that and what's that other show, dude? It's one more show on YouTube, and they cover like all type of serial killer shit and like, but it's all real life shit. Like the one of my favorite ones recently that I was watching quite a bit was the OnlyFans model that lived with a guy, and she was basically abusive as fuck to him, and she was beating him, and fucking she had already prior stabbed him. And then they got into an argument one night, right? And she fucking stabbed him in the chest. He fucking died right there on the spot. And instead of calling the police, she called her parents. And then they coached her on what to do. Then, like just recently, not too long ago, they came and picked her parents up too. So
did she try and claim it was self-defense too?
Yeah, I think
she tried
she did.
to claim that she threw the shit. Like what the fuck? Like, what do you mean you threw it?
I remember,
but it was like
reports of that shit.
Yeah, she tried. Like her first thing that she said was that, she threw the knife at him, right? And somehow by throwing the knife at him, you got a downward angle with a deep ass fucking 4 or 5 inch blade, right?
Not to mention,
she didn't really think that one through.
Like that makes it any better. Okay, you threw the knife at him and it stuck in the guy and killed the dude. He's still dead, So it's like
that's one good fucking. That's one good. What was she? Bullseye from Daredevil and shit.
Yeah,
that would throw.
She was Billy from The Predator, man.
Exactly.
I just know that shit was really wild.
It was one of those cases, man, where it was like females get the benefit of the doubt all the time, and every male is sitting there going, man, it doesn't matter. Like female can get you, kill you too. So
Yeah, dude, that was almost as worse as that California case where the girl killed somebody and blamed it on weed and actually got off with that shit. They
Yeah.
said it
I
was
heard
like,
about that.
yeah, that shit's crazy, dude. Like, cause I guess she stabbed him like 100 and something times, like 115 times, and then blamed it on weed.
Well, remember, I mean, the dude. I don't know if this is before your time, Chris. Adam probably remembers this, but there was this chick, and don't get me wrong, the guy was a piece of shit. But there was this chick named Elena Bobbitt who found out
Oh,
that.
she cut
Yeah,
his
I
penis
know about
off.
Elena.
Yeah,
That's Brittany. That's Brittany's hero.
yeah,
That's the threat that I usually get.
Yeah, Elena Bobbitt's what made that threat famous.
yeah. It's like, I mean, the dude was a piece of shit, but you cut his dick off and threw it away. It's like,
Have you guys ever seen that Family Guy sketch of that?
no,
They actually had like it was they substituted like the guy for Ben Grimm.
no.
He cuts the penis off and he's chasing after it. It's fucking hysterical.
They Weird Al put that in a music video though, so it's hilarious.
You know, well, guys, tonight we're gonna cut this a little short because I got fireworks going off all around me.
Oh, all right.
It's just a little bit hard to concentrate. Plus, my brother's making dinner in the other room, and I don't want to be rude.
No problem.
One more, the next show we gotta discuss one thing, dude. Fucking AEW, okay? I need to come to terms with
we can talk
how-
about this for a little bit now.
how the fuck is Nia fucking what's her name?
Nia Rose.
Fuck, what's her name? There you
Nia
go.
Rose.
How in the fuck is she wrestling with women? Like, dude, I understand like what you identify as, okay? But it's what you're born as, okay? And that testosterone that you can't get rid of, all right? I mean, Nyla Rose is fucking huge to these women. It doesn't look fair. It doesn't look cool. She doesn't look like a heavy set Piper Niven. She doesn't look like a Nia Jax. You know, she come on, dude. Like, she looks like her dick is bigger than mine. And we're sitting up here like allowing this shit. You know what I mean? I feel as if they should make a whole nother kind of like category for this shit. Like, you know, they keep you know how they keep women wrestling, but for some reason we're letting this grown ass man wrestle these little bitty ass women
I'll tell you, man.
for
I
belts
agree
and
with you,
shit too.
but you know, not that I'm saying that wrestling's not physical because it is, but shit, this shit's been going on forever, and nobody gives a shit. Like I remember, I was big into mixed martial arts for a long time. There was a dude that was transgender that was fighting mixed martial arts, and he freaking broke some woman's skull. You know, I'm like,
Yeah,
God
see.
damn.
I don't have, I think hey, if you're gonna be a professional athlete, they should make some new categories.
I'm like, if whatever you want to do, I'm fine with, until you start hurting other people, man. It's like,
Exactly.
or it's not fair, you know. And that's just not fair. It's just, I agree with both of you guys. It's just not fair. So
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it
no,
doesn't-
Go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say it doesn't even remotely look fair. Like if you watch, I've watched quite a few of her matches, right? Just because they'll throw her on Dynamite or Collision or whatever, right? But when you're watching it, it just looks like so unfair because you know how the women kind of like fake hit each other and shit.
Yeah.
When it's up to her, it's like she doesn't get dazed at all. She doesn't really sell shit because it just looks like it has no effect on her whatsoever. You know what I mean? It looks like she should be in the ring with Daniel Bryan or some shit.
Oh,
I mean, it's not even like China. Like China was legitimately buff as hell as a woman, but she was still a woman. You know, you could tell she was a woman. So, yeah, I'm there. I'm on the same level with you, but you're a bigot, man. You are transphobic. So there's that.
No.
See, like, and that's the thing, dude. I have absolutely no problem with whatever people want to do in life, right?
Yeah,
But when
exactly.
it comes to shit like this, I just feel like it's just extremely unfair, and we should have an open category for other, like trans like people like that to wrestle. You know what I mean? Where it's fair.
I
Like
think
if you're born as a man and identify as a woman, then you should have your whole subsect of men that identify as women that want to have women's wrestling. You get what I'm saying? I have no problem with that, but when you're putting this grown, like, whether she identifies as a woman or not, you're still born a man, right? So it's certain attributes that you just can't get rid of, right? And it just makes it incredibly unfair to those little bitty ass women that be, wrestling her, dude. Half those girls are like fucking 5'7" or smaller,
Or smaller.
And
And
yeah,
it's not even just combat sports, man. When I was in high school, when I was 18, I was like a top 500 swimmer in my event in the world, which is good, but it wasn't freaking fantastic. I'm proud of it. But if I was identified as a female, I would have had the world record for women. So, which isn't fair. So
Yeah, well, I think what we're going to do with this is we're going to
exactly.
table
And
this for
that-
now.
So
we
I
can
just
vote
wanted to
for-
talk about that.
Yep, that's cool. And like I said, we're going to table this for now to where we can devote at least a good half an hour to the subject.
sweet.
We can really dive into this because, I kind of feel that this is affecting everything in life at the moment. And unfortunately, because of the fireworks, which are right next to my window, I'm really having a hard time concentrating at the moment. And it's unfair to you guys that I can't put. I feel like I'm podcasting in a war zone right now.
It's the weed, man. Admit it. It's not the fireworks. So
I wish it was weed. I wish I had weed right now. But I want to thank Chris. I want to thank Dave. Everyone, like I said, please have a safe, amazing, and blessed 4th of July. Do not blow your fingers off. Do not drink and drive. Remember, you don't need sight to have a vision. I love you all, but I'm out.
Like a pimp.